Afternoon, everyone. This is the Southbank Consultancy for Crown Barbers. So here are some of the points that we are going to speak about in these presentations. So we're going to speak about the company, Crown Barbers itself, the cash flow of Crown Barbers, how they're making profit and how they're doing well. We're going to be talking about the Access database as well. We've identified 3 problems of Crown Barbers, and we've found 3 ideal solutions as well. So we're going to be speaking about that, and So first things first, my name is Samsor, and in this project I was the IT consultant.
My name is Nader Islam, and I was a general consultant.
My name is Shimon Salas, and I'm the HR consultant.
I'm Lewis Davis, and I'm the financial consultant.
So a bit about Crown Barbers. It's a barbershop, of course, which provides haircuts, waxing, beards, eyebrows, face mask, hair wash. So literally, anything you're looking for, that's the mainly thing what they're good at. So it's located in Essex, in a small town called Grace, which is near Lakeside, and but it's mainly from East London. So it's got 3 shops in East London, but it's quite new in Essex. It opened up around 6 months ago, so it's quite a new shop.
This is their Excel spreadsheet. It's their cash flow budget, and it shows their finances and all the revolving costs, sales and wages of the employees. It also shows that the company is obviously profitable, as seen below at the total profit, where it's minus the costs and the sales together.
So this is our Access database, which shows relationships between customers, orders and sales. So within these in-depth relationships, it will show any bookings or customer details such as phone numbers or their surnames, etc.
So when we went to the interview, we found 3 main problems. This is the first problem. The first problem is location. It's all about the area that the Crown Barbers is surrounded. There's 1 shop in Essex and there's a few shops in East London. The shop in Essex has a high competition, therefore they have to find a good way of advertising the place. The competition is very competitive, obviously. Following that, it's difficult to gain loyalty of the customers. Therefore, we have to find a good way in reducing the sales revenue for the business. This is the 3 solutions we have found for the first problem. So the first solution is increasing the expenditure in advertisement. That means boosting the sales and beating all the competitors and consumers. You can when customers are looking for a barbershop, they use Google Maps. This is a PPC system, which means that every customer that clicks on Google Maps, the barbershop have to pay Google to basically advertise that. Following that, they have to create a booking system, either it's on a website or it's by phone or anything. Any customer, they can go on the website, just book a slot, go there anytime they want to. And lastly, they could create or update a website just to give more information about themselves and about the business itself, what's the interests, and yeah.
So problem 2, prior to the interview, we found was pricing. So these are the 3 problems. Problem number 1 is quality assurance. Due to the barbers being a very high quality standard shop, customers know that they may be paying onwards of £20 for a haircut or trim. This could be an issue because some customers are not willing to pay that much for a haircut, which is another issue because they could go to local competitors. So however, the price for haircuts is approximately £30 depending on what you're getting. And customers are looking for cheap haircuts. So thing is, if this barber's is offering £30 for haircuts, if a a customer was to come in and realise that this is the price for haircuts, they might go elsewhere to local barbers in the area. But this also creates a competitive disadvantage for crown barbers, as there are cheaper barbers in the local area. This area is known to have a number of barbers. So 3 solutions for pricing. The first one being an app or a website which offers discounts, card payments and other discount schemes such as loyalty cards. So a tap-in loyalty card system tracks how many haircuts customers have purchased. So for example, if a customer comes in and gets 5 haircuts, the 6th one we can do for half price. So, and the third one is micro test promotional, which is basically if Crown Barbers was to test out new pricing strategies, they could do that on a digital platform online, which then they can apply to real life basis, so they could see if it works online first, if these new pricing strategies will work in real life.
The third problem that we found was management. The owner of Crown Barbers has a laissez-faire style of management, and therefore he follows this hands-off approach in the day-to-day operations of the business. Although he did appoint a manager at the shop can experience some HR problems with customers, as well as having issues of employees lacking in workload. Therefore, the business could potentially experience decreased efficiency in its services through improper management and maybe affect the overall sales of the business. 3 possible solutions for the management problem. The first one could be to create or use an online management system that the manager or the employee can use, such as an online timetable, for example. The second solution could be a clock-in, clock-out system, preferably like a card scan for employees, so the manager can record hours worked of the employees. Not only does this aid the owner, but it goes along with his hands-off approach, and it will also help decide the wages for employees depending on hours worked, and also improve the efficiency. The third solution could possibly be manage reviews and reputations. So the employees can ask happy clients to write reviews online and also respond to negative reviews.
So following that, we picked one of the main solutions for each of the 3 problems. So this is the ideal solution for the first problem. So the best solution for Crown Barbers' competitive location is is through again larger expenditure in advertising and boosting all the advertising so that you can knock out the competitors away from the business and from the location they're in right now. So previously, Crown Barbers has used a small advertisement system. For example, they put the advertisers in newspaper, but not much people would see that. But they can dominate the internet marketing using the PCC system, like I said before. So every person that tries to get to the location, they're going to use Google Maps on the phone. So therefore, they will have to pay Google, but they'll get more customers and customer loyalty will increase as well. Following that, lastly, they could use technology. So what I'm trying to say by that, they could into the shop, they could put more technology expansion in the business markets. This would expand the technology of websites, everything that actually links with all the systems they got.
So after careful analysis of pricing problems, we come to the conclusion that the ideal solution would be to improve their pricing problem is to use an app or online websites with features which offer discount codes, card payments and discount schemes that are redeemable through online apps. This is probably the best solution because it keeps the business up to date online and keeps them in line with competitors who are also using the internet to attract customers. It prevents us from falling behind in terms of efficiency, and this solution also creates cheaper prices and potentially wins over customers and could attract newer customers to the business, which increases profit. And thus, if the price is discounted, it could persuade them to use their service, which could deter them from going to other local competition and and bringing newer business to Crown Barbers.
And finally, the ideal solution for problem 3. We chose the clock in and clock out system for employees where it can record hours worked by the employees and help the owner with his managerial hands-off approach. As well as this, it also helps setting out the wages for employees, depending on the hours worked by each employee, potentially making the workplace and workload a lot more efficient. It is the best solution out of the 3 due to the managerial focus on the employees, keeping them in line, and the ease it creates and reassurance for the owner.
Right, so here are some statistics about the barbershop market. So the boom is men's haircut is predicted to reach 94 million by 2020. Another fact is that the barber market is expected to grow 13% up to 2026. So yeah, I guess it is very good for Crown's Barber as things are evolving and every day things are changing. So in conclusion, what we've all decided is that overall we do think that Crown Barber is doing really well for recently opening Essex. Of course, at first it does take a bit of time to progress because due to a lot of competitors in Essex, around Grays mainly. So yeah, I think that they're doing really well. It's a profitable business and they don't really have any issues right now except the pricing. However, that could be sorted. So as it's a barber, it could be difficult to integrate some aspect of IT into the everyday operations of the business. But however, it could still improve massively and give itself a competitive edge over businesses in the general location. So before me and my colleague Lewis, we went to the interview. So we went to an interview to interview them. So we managed to go to Essex and meet the owner of the business. We as well managed to meet the staff. We gained a lot of information. What they, how they find Crown Barbers, how it's like to work for them. We also managed to speak to some customers while they're getting their haircut as well, how they find the service. Yeah, so just facts, and as well, we managed to speak to the owner. Luckily, we managed to go inside the Crown Barbers, and he gave us a tour of the inside. So yeah, we gained a lot. It was worth going to Essex as well, especially where it's quite popular in East London. So thank you for listening to this presentation, and I hope you enjoyed.